So what's up, man?
We're here with Mr. Steve Saka this week. He's out traveling.
So the poor guy just walks in the fucking door, and I'm like, "Come on, let's go. We're gonna record. We're gonna record."
No,
He's
no
like,
talking without the microphones. No talking.
Don't even let me get a sip of water.
No,
don't
nothing.
let me light a cigar. Don't let me take a piss. Not a goddamn thing.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
It's like, bam, you got to go to work.
That's it.
Dance, monkey, dance.
Stand. I was going to say dance monkey.
That's what happens when you're the king of marketing. I mean, you got it.
Am I supposed to take that as is that a compliment?
Of
or
course.
Is it offensive?
How is it offensive?
Well, I'll tell you how it would be offensive.
Tell me.
Okay, like certain cigar people, when you say they're the king of marketing, it's kind of like, oh, well, they know how to market cigars. They don't know anything about tobacco. They don't know anything about cigars. It's kind of like when you kind of say something like, oh yeah, he's really kind of he's unique.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't take either as an insult, but I think that there's a big difference between somebody who makes a good cigar and doesn't know how to market it, and somebody who can do both.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, part of the marketing, I'm just who I am is who I be, and so when I'm doing these things, I always know it's marketing.
Right.
Everything you do is marketing, right?
Of course.
You walk in the room, the first time you shake someone's hand, you're making an impression.
Right.
But I don't have like this is the public Steve Saka.
No, it's the
and
same
this
guy.
Is the private Steve
Yeah.
Saka. It's the same lousy Steve Saka in both segments.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It goes
Same guy
both
either way.
ways. And I think one of the reasons why I do well is because I am my customer.
Right.
I am a cigar smoker. I am genuinely a cigar geek. I mean, how many like big league manufacturers that roll around still with a box? You know what I mean? With stickers all over it.
No, it's true. Like you live and breathe the industry.
Yeah, I definitely am that. So So what are you going to get me in trouble with? What are we talking about?
Well, a lot's going on. For one, you're one of the only guys that's out traveling right now.
Mm-hmm. Him, Jack, and Terrence.
Yeah.
That's really about it.
Terrence is on the road. Lafferty just hit the road. I think people are starting to move now.
A little bit. But you also went to Nicaragua.
Yeah, that's right.
I had no choice because here's the thing. Everything that I released last year was work that I did in 2019.
Right.
Now, look, I'm not sitting at the table and rolling every cigar that goes in every box.
Right.
But
That's not how it works.
do all the front end work. I do actually look at all the tobacco, buy stuff, sort stuff, figure out all the initial blends, go through all of that.
Right.
And because I hadn't been back to Nika since March of last year, there's been like zero development of anything.
Yeah, nothing gets done unless
nothing gets done.
You can send as many fucking emails as you want.
Right, and they can send as many samples in Ziploc bags.
Right.
But I don't
send more samples. We got email.
But that's not how I like to do things.
Right.
It's not why I started a new company. I started a new company so I could do things the way I wanted to do it. I knew that if I didn't get back to Nicaragua, I was basically not going to really have anything fresh for the people that like my cigars this year.
Right.
And so I had to get back there as soon as physically possible. And so that was challenge number one. Challenge number two is I normally am going down every month except the month of December.
Right.
And I'm normally going down for about a week of every month, except typically I'll end up spending 2 weeks in January and then like 2 weeks about 6 weeks before the trade show every year. And I look at everything there before it's going to ending up going in the boxes. I'll look at the final quality sort and whatnot. And I didn't have that ability to do that this year. So what I was doing is all the cigars that were being delivered to us in the U.S., I was having to open boxes and cut open cigars. And I destroyed probably this year, I think I destroyed somewhere around probably between 12 and 13,000 cigars in my warehouse just doing the quality control checks.
Right.
And it's expensive.
That's expensive, especially when it comes all the way over here.
Right. I spent the money to ship it. I spent the money imported. I paid the tax. I paid the S-chip. And I paid the factory. It depended on what the problem was. Like we had a problem in September that I made them eat because it was just too big a problem.
Right.
It was definitely it wasn't just me being an asshole. It was them really fucking up in a way that.
If you found something wrong, how could you fix that? Because you're pulling from stock you'd already received.
And I rarely do find something wrong.
Right.
But, I found something in September. Like we didn't ship, I don't want to say what brands because I don't want people to think, oh my God, I don't want to grab that brand. But we had a brand that there was a problem with. and it was a moisture problem, and it had to do with the fact that the cigars were rolled when it was really rainy, and then when they wicked down, they ended up a little spongy.
Right.
And, you know, my cigars, I like them to be really firm and dense and heavy. You know, I want the draw to be good, but I don't like spongy cigars.
Right.
Spongy cigars burn too fast, like a wick.
Yeah.
So we had a problem, and basically we had to really like reject like almost an entire shipment of an entire brand.
Damn.
And we had to destroy it. And, you know, and my factory partners, look, the deal with who I work with, they all know what an asshole I am.
Right.
Right.
And there is a Saka tax on all of my product.
So it's okay. It's already
So
incorporated.
right, it's
Added
already
in.
incorporated. It's built into the pricing.
Right.
I don't do the normal, hey, no, I want it to be a nickel cheaper. Hey, it needs to be this,
Right.
it needs to be that. No, we figure out the prices, boom, boom, boom. And then I almost always pay them more
Right.
than what they even ask for.
Right.
Because I know what I'm going to be like.
Right.
And they know what I'm going to be like. And then when something like this happens, well, all that extra cash that I've been paying you for the last 3 years, guess what? I'm cashing in on some of it now.
Right.
Right.
Because this shit ain't going out the door. This
Right.
shit's going into the dumpster.
The
That's the way
Saka
this
tax
is
is
working.
coming online now, people.
Right.
So, you know.
Saka tax.
And you know, and that's part of the gig. But honestly, I don't want to do that. It's a lot of hassle.
Right.
I want to.
Yeah.
I'd rather. It's much easier to be there physically, see with my eyes, cut, light, taste, draw, boom, 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 and go. Okay, here we got a problem. Here we don't have a problem. Boom. It's just way better and more economical and easier than me
Cutting
opening, right. Opening
Yeah.
finished goods.
I mean,
Well,
but
yeah,
it
much-
isn't.
much easier
But you
to
still
find
got to
it.
jump on. I mean, you're all the way up in New England, right? You got to fly all the way down there. You
Yeah.
got it's a 2.5 hour drive. Where the fuck do you stay when you go there? You know.
I actually stay at my good friend Gustavo Cura's house.
Okay, you stay at Gus's house?
Stay at Gus's house.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, I've been staying there for years. And,
Say
yeah,
Gustavo. Oh, gosh. Yeah, just
yeah,
yeah.
And,
Yeah, Gus.
and a good thing about staying.
Gus runs Knoxville.
Yeah, Gus runs. Well, not really.
Oh, well,
Gus,
yeah.
Gus runs Pro Sneek.
Right.
Okay, so Gus is a tobacco man.
Yeah.
Gus is Oliva Tobacco Company's #1 guy in Nicaragua,
Mm-hmm.
and Gus hasn't left Nicaragua.
He's been there this whole time.
He's been there the whole since
Oh,
COVID
shit.
started. He's been down there because he knows if he leaves, he maybe can't come back.
Can't come back.
And he's responsible for millions and millions and millions and dollars of tobacco. And I like staying at Gus's house because Gus is a douchebag. No, that's wrong. That's not true. Gus is a dick. There's a
Right.
difference. There's a
Okay.
huge difference. Gus and me get along really well.
Right.
So we're kind of boys, and
Is there a Saka tax for staying at his house, too?
yeah, you know what? He doesn't ask for it, but I always make sure I have some extra scotch in the bag.
Right, right.
I bring him some good coffee.
Show appreciation.
He likes dark chocolate stuff that the
Stuff you
really
can't
good
get there.
you can't get in Nicaragua.
Right,
so
right.
and look, and I'm his mule back. So like this last trip back, I brought all sorts of drugs for his wife. I bought this like pet shampoo. Like they have this pet shampoo down in Latin America and Central America. That's like the most amazing pet shampoo ever.
Really?
It's got this like antibacterial thing in it.
Yeah.
And like when you wash your dog, not only does it like clear up all skin issues with your dog, but your dog actually smells fresh.
No shit.
Like for like 7 to 8 days. It was
Great.
literally washed that morning. Stuff is incredible. It's crazy. But
So
of
now I'm gonna
course-
go down there looking for this fucking dog jam.
Yeah.
but of course, in the
Your
United
wife is breaking
States,
it down right
you can't buy it because someone might drink it.
Yeah,
because,
right. It's not
we
PETA
got,
approved
we got
or
idiots
FDA
putting
approved.
Gorilla Glue in their hair,
Right.
eating
Right,
Tide Pods.
Yeah,
so-
who would have thought that Gorilla Glue isn't for
Yeah,
the
now they
hair?
have to put "don't put in your hair" on the packaging.
So, but they have this wicked, amazing pet shampoo that you can't import to the United States. So I'm always smuggling pet shampoo in my bag. That's right.
What is this in his bag?
I'm gonna go down at Miami Customs.
Right,
I'm gonna be
right.
the pet
Sir.
shampoo smuggler.
Sir, come here.
Yeah.
Come here. What is this? What is all this
What
stuff?
is all this?
Please tell us.
It says pet shampoo. That's not.
We're gonna have to cut this open.
And I'll tell you the other thing that's great about staying at Gus's house, because Gus sells to everybody, and so he's seeing all the tobacco buyers from all the major companies. Right. Everybody comes in to be there. I get to be party to a lot of conversations.
Right.
And you'll learn a lot about a lot of things that you otherwise never would have the opportunity, because once we get to night, as you know, there isn't a lot to do
Right.
in Esteli.
Yeah.
So you're basically sitting around and you're drinking scotch, you're drinking bourbon, you're smoking cigars, and you're just talking.
Right.
And so, it's really cool that I get to, talk to the head buyer of Altadis and talk to the head buyer at STG. And when, Fuentes people come in to select the Ecuador Habano and all of that, the Ecuador Sumatran. So you get to learn a lot being there all the time.
Right.
So I like staying at Gus's place, and he treats me really good, even though he is a dick. You're a dick, Gus, but I love you, brother.
It's like Michael Jordan's Space Jams. Like they built the basketball court and they had all the all-stars there playing with them and stuff. He learned the ins and outs of everything. It's pretty much the same link.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right, so we'll make this one more thing real brief, and then we'll let you settle in and relax, and and then you don't have to dance anymore. So
Dance, monkey, dance.
So you went to the Great Smoke,
Yes.
and we had the explosion on the server.
Yes.
You did a whole post.
Yeah.
Abe did a whole post as well. I mean, but that shit kind of happens. You know what I mean? Like, I understand why people get pissed off or whatever the case may be, but I mean, if you get your server to break down.
Yeah, but I
You
have
fucking,
look, and he knew it was going to break.
Of course.
And he has a great web server. It's really it's like he said it was good for 99% of the time.
Right.
It's really good for 99.9% of the time.
Right.
I mean, and I know people are like, this is part of what's going wrong with our culture right now. Everyone's so spoiled
Right.
by instant delivery and free shipping from Amazon Prime. You ship boxes to customers.
Yep.
You know how much this costs.
Yeah.
We're not getting that rate. We're not getting that deal.
Right.
I mean, it just doesn't exist. But
Right.
they get so spoiled that, well, I don't understand why this, you know what I mean? Well, guess what? That's like a multi-billion-dollar company.
Right.
And this is he a big retailer? He's a big retailer.
Yeah.
But he's not even
But a big-
famous or
right,
or
like-
JR or
Right.
one of those guys. I mean, I haven't even seen the show yet.
Yeah.
Well, because I had that lunch event, and I had to rush from the lunch event to go do the studio appearance, and then I had to rush from the studio appearance to go do the Red Meat Lovers dinner that night. And ever since then, I've been,
Running and gunning.
Exactly. And so I haven't even seen it. So I don't actually even know how I mean, I know I'm there, I'm doing my
Right.
shit.
You lived it, but
didn't
see it.
You
You don't know the
never,
numbers.
You don't know how it feels.
Right.
Right.
You don't know how it looks
how you
somebody
came
from
across.
the outside, did it. But I had a great experience. I thought it was really an unbelievable undertaking. I don't even understand when you think about the fact that Abe Dababna at Smoke Inn, who, yes, one of the best retailers in the country, yes,
the best.
one of the best retailers, one of the
No, I refer to him.
He says it all the time.
I say
Okay.
that he's the best
I
all
mean,
the time. And
He doesn't listen to the podcast. He's
but-
like,
No,
The-
Abe doesn't listen.
the fact that they let him do that,
right.
and one of the mega box companies or one of the big manufacturers didn't do something like that.
Right.
I mean, everybody's just doing these dopey Zoom calls.
Right.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, no, you got to
I mean,
give it to the guy,
I
man.
mean, that was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was stunned. I heard the comedians kind of were a little bit
Yeah, I mean, what can you expect?
But I think it was kind of like first go around.
Right.
And so getting back to that other thing, when I saw that negativity, and I'm like, I could fix that
Right.
for my product. I don't know about the other manufacturers.
Right.
I don't know, what limits they had on tobacco, what limits they had on production. They may not, but I knew that for that particular blend,
Right.
I have enough of that Costa Rican Marron that I could have made enough for everybody to buy one bundle.
Right.
Okay, I know I could, but you got to understand, when you're planning these things, you don't know what the demand is going to be.
Right.
And you're
It's
making
tough.
something exclusive.
Right.
And then what happens when it doesn't all sell?
Right.
Yeah.
Then you're like, there's
Here, take 20.
cigars.
Here, take 20,000 of these. Oh, you only sold 5? Okay.
And guess what?
15 more?
And as you well know, it happens all the time.
Yep.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, man.
And then you're stuck with this. So, and he's like, okay, there's 1,500 ticket holders.
Right.
They have 6 manufacturers. They each have an exclusive.
Right.
How many of these exclusives are actually going to be bought? You have no idea. So you're just kind of sticking your finger in the air and kind of winging it.
Right.
Right.
And you're making that decision 6 months,
Right.
7, 8 months prior. It was the same situation we had with Red Meat Lovers with him.
Right.
Like when we had to pull the trigger on Red Meat Lovers production for 2020's release, we had to make the decision in March.
Right.
Well, you guys were around in March. I mean, we didn't even know.
Yeah, you didn't know who was going to be able to sell what.
Can we sell cigars?
Right.
We
Is it
sell
allowed?
cigars? Are there going to be bodies stacked in the streets? I mean, we had no clue.
Does Zombie smoke cigars? Is that
Right.
gonna be-
I think so.
Right.
And so, but I knew that I could fix that. And so, luckily Abe was like, okay, you know what? If you can,
Great.
I'm willing to do it too. And here's the thing. It's gonna become available very soon. And it's only going to be available to ticket holders.
Right.
So
That's smart.
because that was the original deal.
That was the deal,
the
right,
ticket holders were the ones who were going to have a shot at the exclusives. So it's not going to be open to everybody.
Right.
You had to have a ticket, and we'll find out. Maybe we'll get orders for 3 more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I doubt
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, who even knows what the number is? But I will say this. I'm making, and just so you guys know, I'm actually going to make a video about this later today, but all you motherfuckers out there that want it, I told Abe he has to charge you when you order it because I'm making these cigars specifically for this purpose, for those customers. That's it. I got no way to resell them to anybody else. So none of this, I want to buy it, I'm going to buy it.
Right.
And then when
Right,
it
hold
gets
it for me for
delivered,
later.
when it
Right.
gets delivered 4 months later,
Oh, shit,
they're like,
Oh,
no,
well, I don't want to.
I told Abe, you got to collect the cash or I'm not doing it.
Yeah, pre-sale them.
Yeah,
collect the money
it's gotta
now.
Be the way it is because there's just too much risk. And you know this too as a retailer. How many times have customers said to you, "Oh, I really want that. I really want that." It
the
comes
worst.
in.
Yeah.
You set it up on the shelf.
Yeah.
You
Like,
got 8 customers that come and go, "Oh, I want that." I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No,
That one's for
that's
Phil.
already
Can't do
sold.
that.
That's already sold. That's
Right.
already sold. And then that guy finally shows up and goes, nah, I don't really want it.
It's like, you
And you're
son of a bitch.
Right. And it's like you just told 8 people
No.
no.
Yep.
Because of that promise, and so that's
tough.
It's you never know how many.
Retail's hard.
Everything about our business is hard.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. That's very fair.
There's no easy ride anywhere.
No, that's a true statement, without question. All right, so that was it. I just wanted to cover it to say hi, have you on here, and we got to fit you in, got to talk about a couple of awesome topics.
That's it. I'm off the hook.
That's it.
Unless there's something else you want to talk about.
Fuck, I could care less right now.
Hey, I have a.
I'm exhausted, man.
have a-
Look at my eyes.
You look tired.
You look tired.
Yeah, I'm
I have a quick question.
You'll be fine.
You made some post about it was going to be hard to get out of Nika at the end. You came back before the cutoff.
Right.
but-
Here's what happened. So I planned the trip. You had to get the COVID test to go down.
Right.
It's not the big deal getting the COVID test. The problem is that there's one airline that's flying out of Miami, and they're disorganized, and it's Avianca. And when you land in Nika, the results from your COVID test are not allowed to be older than 72 hours. Okay, that's achievable. The problem is Avianca Airlines needs the result of your test 36 hours before your flight.
Ooh,
leaves.
quite the window there.
Oh wow.
And
yeah.
you have to send them it during business hours.
Holy shit.
So you need to be 36 hours before your flight during business hours, but your results not be older than 72 hours when you land. It gives you such a tiny window
Right.
of when you can get this test done. So you then have to go to one of those rapid clinics, which you pay $200 to $1,100. There's one in Miami you pay $1,100
Wow.
to. Okay, but I paid $350 if I remember right for the
Holy
test.
shit.
For you to get the result quick enough.
Yeah, right away.
In the window, because of course the clinics, they're not 24/7 either.
Right.
So you got to coordinate the clinic's time with the airline's time and the other thing. So
Oh my God.
it's really tough to do, but it's doable. So I'm going to Nika. I'm doing all this, no problem. And then when I'm in Nicaragua, our State Department announces that, oh, by the way, nobody after January 26th or after January 25th can come back in the United States unless they have a negative COVID test, and they made it where you had to have an antigen test. That was
Right.
the
Yeah.
initial
They
announcement.
added the thing on.
Right, and the antigen test, 70% of the countries in the world don't even have the antigen
Right.
test. Okay, it doesn't exist for them.
My wife and I were going to go to Mexico, but you can't get the test to get back out.
Right.
Once you're there.
Right. So there was no way to get the test in Nika. Now, so what ended up happening is everybody that was out of the country, not Nicaragua, the whole wide world,
Right.
that was in one of these, 7 out of 10 countries, they were now all scrambling to change their tickets. So the airlines, they wouldn't even let you change your ticket. It was buy a new ticket. So what ended up happening was it was like all of a sudden it was like an auction.
Right.
So I paid for a one-way ticket to come back from Miami to Managua, $2,400
Holy
times two. Because I had my son with me, and I got to tell you, I was lucky to get the ticket.
Oh, yeah.
Because about 2 hours later, there were no tickets to even be had. And then it became a problem here in the States because everybody that was coming into all the international destination airports, they also now had to change their domestic flights.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You can get back to Miami.
Right, because now I'm back in Miami.
Yeah, you
5
gotta get
days
back to New
earlier.
Hampshire.
So now, they weren't any better than the crappy Avianca people. They also instantly gouged. So this flight to Nicaragua and back in ticket prices between John and I don't know the exact number, but probably well over $8,000.
Right. I don't want to, carry the one, but Sin Compromiso is now $85 a stick.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's just so.
It'll be the
it's
press
so
release
crazy.
next week. Dunbarton Tobacco raises prices extremely.
So in Nicaragua, they don't really do COVID testing much.
Yeah.
They just basically
I can't imagine.
Right.
You
Put their
have
hand-
it,
they
you
put
don't
their
have
hand
it.
on your forehead. Go, no, you okay? You
Right.
go. It's fine.
Yeah, well, look, they had a lot of pneumonia deaths in 2020
Right.
that they had.
Right.
Now, what I will say, though, in Nicaragua, as soon as you start to show symptoms of COVID,
They shoot you.
they instantly put you on the cocktail. They put you on the steroids for your lungs. They put you on the parasite drug. They put you on the evil chloroquine drug.
They give you all
put
of
you
it.
on the Z-Pack.
Skip's
and
taking
they
that
put you
every day.
on the 100-milligram aspirin. Like everybody.
Not fucking
Like,
around.
Boom. And the thing is, most people in Nika really got it. But they got better really quick.
Right.
Because they got the cocktail.
Because they got the cocktail. The cocktail that politically doesn't work.
Right.
Amazingly, it seems to work in Central America.
Right.
I don't know why.
Right.
So the thing is, they only had one testing center in Managua run by the Ministry of Health. But they were only doing tests for people that were flying into the States and then going on to like the UK or to France or Spain. There aren't that many countries that were requiring you to have the test. Well, there are, but there weren't that many Nicaraguans that were flying to those countries that required
Right.
tests. So the clinic that they have could only process like 25 of these rapid tests a day.
Holy shit.
Jeez.
And and the average Avianca flight coming out has like 130 passengers,
Right.
and they all have to go through Miami. So the problem is now they're trying to scale up the clinic size in Managua to handle the load. And I'm waiting to get word. As soon as they can handle the load, I will make the trip back down there. Because the other option is if you fly into Nicaragua, you got to fly out of Nicaragua to a country like Mexico. So I can
Right.
fly to Mexico City, but I get a COVID test in Mexico City to fly back to the States. What if I turn up positive? Now I'm
Right.
stuck in a city, in a country that I
Right.
know nobody, I know nothing. If I catch COVID in Managua, I know plenty of doctors, I know
Right.
the hospitals, I
Right.
have political connections.
Right.
I'd much rather be sick in a country where I know
Know
a lot
people.
of
Know people, right.
than a country like Mexico City where I know nobody.
Right.
So I'm just waiting, and I think it's going to be about another 2 weeks, is what they're saying. They're going to have the clinic up, and again, honestly, I don't even know if they're even going to really test. Because I think if you were positive in Nicaragua and you're getting on a plane, I think they're just going to stamp you
Oh, yeah, they'd
negative
be
and
happy
say,
to-
oh yeah,
You're fine.
yep, enjoy your trip.
Yeah.
Adios, amigos. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Put on your mask.
Put on your mask. Hold your breath as you get on the plane, sir. No coughing.
This guy's fine. He's fine.
He's fine.
But I'm hoping
He's on a stretcher, but he's okay. Just put him on.
I'm hoping I'm going to be able to make my. I'm hoping that by the time we get to March, which I guess is what, just a week.
Just
Yeah,
a week.
you're
Yeah.
right around the corner, man.
Right. I'm hoping I can get back onto my normal routine schedule of visiting all the time because I really need to. It's what I need to do.
Right.
I think how healthy you'll be, though. You're getting tested once a month now.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I get that Q-tip jammed
Right up
up
the
my-
nose.
My brain pan. You know what? It isn't that bad. In fact, I think a lot of people that whine about it, I think they need to downgrade their buttercupness because it's not like that bad. I mean, come on. Really?
Yeah, I mean, they're
You
not
know what I
rooting-
think it is,
They're
though?
not
I
rooting
think it's-
around up there.
I think it's just decades of the retro hell. It's so easy for you. It's like, there's no problem there.
There's, there's no sinuses left.
Exactly.
It's like a big cavern up there.
Yeah, like,
There we go. A lot of room in this guy. Look at this.
Check this out. It doesn't hurt him. He's unaffected.
Look,
Are you done? Is that
I was
it?
about to say something I don't want to say. Like, he can take so many inches.
It's like a hot dog down a nostril hallway.
All
I think we should leave it on that note. That sounds good.
Yeah,
All right,
that's a good place to
Steve,
end.
thank you so much for coming on.
Appreciate you
man.
taking the time.
My
We
pleasure,
appreciate it.
guys.
And let's go hang out. We'll have a little smoke and catch
All right.
up.
All right.
All right, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.